Welcome back, students. Today we will start the Galileo observation or Galileo's law of motion. How Galileo observed the phenomena, and this Galileo law further was studied by Newton, and Newton gave his first law. This is the definition of Galileo's law. I will first explain the topic and then we will make the definition from the topic. What Galileo did, what he observed. Galileo take two inclined plane. This is the height of this inclined plane h, and these two inclined plane are at the same angle theta. This is also theta. A ball is released from the height h, and this ball travel distance s and move along this path. Initially, the initial velocity of the ball is 0. When it is dropped from this height and it is traveling along this path, what is happening when it is reaching this point here? The final velocity is not 0. It acquires some velocity. And due to this velocity, the ball starts moving along this second inclined plane and reaches to the same height, and at this highest point again the velocity becomes 0. Here the distance traveled is s1. In both these cases, s is equal to s1. When it is possible? It is possible only when this surface is frictionless and the ball is moving. The ball is moving under gravity. You will avoid the air resistance here, and you will avoid the friction due to these surfaces. After that, the right hand inclined plane, Galileo reduced its angle, and the angle at this time is theta 1. Suppose the angle is theta 1. This theta 1 is less than theta, and now the same process is repeated. The ball is released from here and it will move along this path and will reach to this point. Here the height is same, but the distance traveled is more because the plane is less inclined. So you can say S2 is more than S1. It was observed the plane is down, and similarly for the third case, the ball is traveling more distance S3. Here S3 is more than S2, and angle in this case is theta 2. You can write theta 2 is less than theta 1. Theta is the angle, and finally by decreasing the angle of this inclined plane, Galileo take the inclined plane along the ground, and what he observed when he released the ball from this point, the ball is moving along this path, and finally the ball keeps on moving. No force is there which can stop this ball. Why? This ball can be stopped only due to friction, but we have considered that the surface is frictionless surface. It means these forces which are acting here are the balanced forces. If these are balanced forces, because no external force is opposing the motion of the ball, if no unbalanced force is there, then the body will keeps on moving. You can stop the moving object only when any external force is acting on it. And what is that external force? That is friction. And we have observed, we have assumed that the friction is not there. Frictionless means the value of friction force is 0. So by these observations, what we can write, what we can conclude as the Galileo law, that an unbalanced external force is required to initiate the motion. It means if any object is at rest, suppose this duster is at rest, it will not move unless I will apply some force. I am applying force from here and it is moving in that direction. It means I am applying the unbalanced force. So to initiate the motion of the object, an unbalanced force is required. And if you consider this concept, the ball was moving but no unbalanced force is needed to maintain the uniform motion. If the object is actually moving, then no unbalanced force is required to stop the ball. And it can stop only when some force is acting on it. So you can write in a summary, it is difficult to achieve the state of zero unbalanced force, that in nature only the unbalanced force can act. No, unbalanced force can never be zero. Either there is air resistance or there is force of friction or any other hindrance. So in nature it is not possible to have the unbalanced force. So this was the Galileo observation or Galileo law. On the basis of these observations and considering the force of friction, then by considering the force of friction, Newton explained force of friction, Newton's laws were given. By considering friction, Newton's laws were given and Newton gave its first law of motion. After the observations of Galileo or Galileo laws, Newton investigated further this law and formulated three fundamental laws to explain the motion of the object. So first of all, we will study about the Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion defines the force. And this first law consists of three parts. After that, I will write the definition of Newton's first law. First, I explain it. Newton's first law consisted of three parts. Number one, what are these parts? Number one, any object at rest will remain at rest until any unbalanced external force is applied on it. You can have many examples. For example, a book lying on the table will remain on the table unless you will not move it, or chair lying on floor, or chalks kept in the box will not start moving by itself. These things will remain at rest. These will not move by itself. These things will move only when you will try to move these. Suppose I am having this box. This box is kept on my hand. It will remain here unless and until I will apply some force. I am applying some small force. It is not moving. Why it is not moving? Because the frictional force between my hand and this box is more. It is dominating. And I am increasing the force. After some time it will start moving. It means I have applied the unbalanced force on this box. And due to this unbalanced force, this box starts moving. Otherwise, if I will not apply the force, this box will not move. So you can have the first part, that any object at rest will not change its position until you will apply some external force. So in definition, you can write any object, at rest will remain at rest. First conclusion. Then second part, any object moving with uniform motion or with constant velocity keeps on moving unless or until we stops it by applying some unbalanced force. Is it okay or not? Can we stop the moving object without any application of force? No. For example, a ball is rolling on floor. Will it stop itself? No. Either we will stop the ball is moving like this, here we will apply the force, only then the ball will stop, or the force of friction on the floor will stop the ball. The ball will not stop by itself. It means a moving object will continue to move unless any force is applied on it. Is it okay? Second example, example 1, example 2. When a car is moving at a speed of 60 km per hour, what will happen? It will keeps on moving and will stop. When will it stop? It will stop when we apply brakes. Yes or no? When you are riding on bicycle and you stop pedaling, only then the bicycle stop, otherwise it will not stop if you will continue to supply the force. You can say now a moving object will not stop by itself unless you will apply some external force on it. So we can write here one more point. First we have added any object at rest will remain at rest, or any object in motion, or rather you can write any object in uniform motion will remain in motion. Okay? Then third case. In third case, any object moving in a particular direction will not change its direction without applying some unbalanced force. Is it right? जब कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में मूव करेगा, जब तक हम उस पर एक्सटर्नल फोर्स नहीं लगाएंगे इट विल नॉट चेंज इट्स डायरेक्शन. नाउ यू हैव टू टेल मी द एग्जांपल. What are the example when the object is moving in a direction it will not change its direction? First example you can have, if you want to turn your car, what you have to do? If you want to turn your car, then the steering has to be rotated by applying some force. By some force, only then car will move. Second example I can tell you, suppose you are hitting the cricket ball. The ball is moving towards you. What will happen when you will hit the cricket ball? Hitting the cricket ball. When you will hit the cricket ball, its direction changes. First it was moving towards you. When you will hit it, its direction changes. So by application of force, the direction can be changed. So add this third point to Newton's first law of motion. Any object at rest will remain at rest, or any object in uniform motion will remain in motion, or any object moving in a fixed direction will not change its direction unless and until any external force, any external unbalanced force. Why unbalanced force? Is applied on it. Why unbalanced force? If the force is balanced, then its position will not change, because the effect of balanced force is zero. Its position will not change. So this is the most important law of Newton, Newton's first law of motion, and this is the definition. Now you students are requested to note down 2-3 more examples for the rest, motion and change of direction for explaining the Newton's first law of motion, and in the next class we will study the effect of this first law in explaining the laws of inertia. Inertia has 3 laws, so we will explain in the next class. Note down these notes in your notebook as well and explain 2-3 more examples. For any doubt you can call me or SMS me, so note it down.